This is the AirSeekers Robot Lawn Mower. It has the stance of a tiny ATV, and it looks more like a piece of smart equipment than a traditional yard tool. The footprint is compact at about 28 by 18.5 inches, and it's hefty at around 52 pounds, which actually helps it stay planted on uneven ground. From my experience, that aggressive tread and higher ground clearance matter more than you'd think when the lawn isn't perfectly flat. Key features I noticed right away were the AI vision system with optional RTK, the flow-cut mulching chamber, the 21.9 volt 15,000 mAh swappable battery rated at 328.5 watts, and the adjustable cutting height from 1.18 to 3.54 inches. For anyone new to this tech, the camera system uses visual mapping to figure out where it is and avoid obstacles in real time. RTK is a satellite-based add-on that tightens positioning down to a few centimeters when you need extra precision. AirSeekers markets up to a 65% slope capability and support for lawns up to 2,400 square meters. In my yard, the slope performance is the standout. It climbs without drama, where some belt drive mowers start slipping, and it does it with steady power from the brushless motors. Setup felt modern and mostly painless. I paired it over Bluetooth, let the app push a firmware update, and then drove it along my boundaries in manual mode to create a virtual fence. If you've never done that, it's like steering a slow RC car with your phone. It's oddly satisfying, but it takes patience if you have a lot of flower beds and curves. The camera scan took a while on my first pass, and I learned it maps faster when the light is even. Bright sun with deep shadows made it recalc more often. I placed the charging dock at the edge of my patio. When I first tucked the dock right up against a wall, it had trouble getting started consistently. Moving the dock a few feet out where it had a cleaner view made it reliable, which lines up with how vision systems perform best when they can see stable landmarks. The flow-cut chamber is where this mower separates itself. In my opinion, the suction fan that lifts the grass before cutting is the reason the finish looks cleaner than most small blade discs. It doesn't leave wispy strands behind, and the clippings come out very fine. That mulch disappears into the lawn and helps with moisture retention, which I noticed after a couple weeks of regular runs because the lawn looked more even between waterings. The cutting width is 7.87 inches, which is narrow for a premium robot, so it needs more passes to cover big areas. The trade-off is that the finish around tight features is neat, and the small disc seems kinder to bumps and micro dips. If you want striping, the app lets you pick patterns, and I could see faint stripes at taller cut heights, especially after 2 consecutive days. Navigation is careful rather than flashy. It doesn't snake in perfect lines like a sports field robot, yet it methodically covers the area by revisiting missed patches. It recognizes hoses, toys, and planters, and it gives a respectful buffer around them. That buffer is the reason I still touch up edges with a string trimmer. There's a few inches it won't shave right up against fences and walls. I'd call that normal for most wire-free bots, but if you expect razor-tight edging, you'll want to factor in a quick trim pass. The obstacle alerts are also paired with a beeping tone when the blades start and stop. It's not loud like a blower, but you'll hear the beeps. During cutting, the sound is a soft hum, much quieter than a gas mower and easy to ignore from inside the house. Battery life has been solid. On a fresh charge, I get close to 3 hours depending on grass height and moisture. The swappable pack is a highlight. It clicks out with a latch, and with a second pack and a separate charger, you can keep the mower in rotation while the spare charges. It's perfect for larger lawns or if you want the lawn done the same day after a growth spurt. Auto return to charge works as expected. It heads home with plenty of reserve left. The app makes the whole routine easier. I tweak height, schedule, and zones from my phone, and I can track location if I'm away. There's GPS binding plus a visual audible alarm option. It's basic anti-theft, but it adds peace of mind. Durability and cleaning have been straightforward. IPX6 means hose down is allowed, and being able to rinse the underside without fuss is a relief. I flip it off, pull the battery, and rinse grass out of the chamber and wheels. The blades are small, pivoting razors that I swap seasonally. The upgraded blade design does create finer clippings, but like any razor blades, they're consumables. The body is held up to scraping a rough stone border without cracking. The finish hides scuffs well. Not everything was smooth. In my clay-heavy patch, when it turned to soft dirt after rain, I could get a spin out and a warning to assist. Once the ground firmed up, that problem went away. The angled front wheels, which are designed to ease turf stress during turns, feel great on curves, but on long straight lines, they can introduce a hint of drag in lush, thick grass. It's subtle, more of a you notice if you look for it thing, not a showstopper. When I tried mowing in a light drizzle, the rain sensor sent it home. There's a way to override, but in my setup that option appeared only after adding the RTK module. I wish that override lived in the base app for those of us with frequent light rain. About coverage claims, the 1,400 square meter rating makes sense over a schedule rather than a single charge. From my experience, one charge comfortably handles a mid-size lawn day to day, but if you're near the top end of that rating, plan to use the scheduler or the spare battery approach. The slope rating is legit. I have a section around a 30-degree angle, and it climbs it confidently if the grass is dry. Traction drops when the soil is muddy, which is expected. The brand itself is newer, and I had my own hesitation. I care about long-term support and parts. So far, the app has seen regular updates, and the mower has improved at redocking and boundary recognition since my first week. I did a support ticket for a question about a minor calibration, and I got a reply the next day with a clear step-by-step guide. That gave me some confidence, though I still think buyers should factor the newness of the company into their expectations compared to legacy yard brands. It's perfect for someone who wants wire-free setup, a cleaner finish from a mulching chamber that actually lifts the grass, and strong slope handling. If you're picky about edges or you have very tight corridors tucked against walls, be ready to do a little trimming and to experiment with dock placement. The narrow cutting width is a compromise you accept for cut quality and obstacle agility. If you value quiet operation, phone-first control, and the option to swap batteries rather than wait on a charge cycle, this checks all those boxes. I'd recommend this for medium to large lawns with open runs and a few slopes, for owners who like to control zones and height from an app, and for anyone who appreciates a mower that's easy to rinse clean. If your yard is mostly soft soil, or your only good dock spot is jammed against a wall under heavy eaves, test placement carefully. In my opinion, the strengths around cut quality, battery strategy, and slope ability outweigh the quirks, but the quirks are real and worth considering. In conclusion, the AirSeekers Robot Lawn Mower delivers a smart, wire-free mowing experience with a standout mulching system and legit hill skills, balanced by edge trim needs, careful dock placement, and the realities of a newer brand. From my experience, it's a capable daily mower that keeps the lawn looking consistently fresh with minimal intervention once you dial in the map and settings. I'll leave the details about the AirSeekers Robot Lawn Mower in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.